We are starting off with the impeachment trial against former President Trump. Democratic House impeachment managers using new security video and Trump's own words and tweets to make their case that he incited the deadly resurrection at the U.S. Capitol.
It's dramatic at times here, and WGN's Gaynor Hall is here now with more on the arguments today. Gaynor?
Definitely dramatic, Ray and Micah. The impeachment managers giving a harrowing timeline of the January 6th attack with new scanner audio and surveillance footage that was just made public.
Remember your copy, we're still taking rocks, bottles, and pieces of flag and metal poles.
Capitol security footage showing just how close the angry mob came to lawmakers after Trump supporters stormed into the Capitol building. Former Vice President Mike Pence was evacuated with his family, and more video shows Capitol Police Officer Eugene Goodman directing Senator Mitt Romney to run the other way from the angry crowd.
Seconds later,
body camera footage showing the hand-to-hand combat between insurrectionists and law enforcement.
the evidence will show you that ex-President Trump was no innocent bystander. The evidence will show that he clearly incited the January 6th insurrection. It will show that Donald Trump surrendered his role as commander-in-chief and became the inciter-in-chief.
Opening statements getting started today with Democrat impeachment managers presenting a roadmap of the evidence against the former president, who's charged with incitement of insurrection, breaking down their case into three parts: the provocation, the attack, and the harm. They showed multiple edited videos and tweets from Donald Trump, as he said for months the only way he would lose the election is because it was rigged. Then after he lost, the impeachment manager said over and over again he repeated the big lie, that the election was stolen, and told supporters to fight to stop the steal.
Now, some have said that President Trump's remarks, his speech on January 6th, was just a speech. Well, let me ask you this. When in our history has a speech led thousands of people to storm our nation's capital with weapons, to scale the walls, break windows, kill a Capitol police officer? This was not just a speech.
Democrats claim Trump's words became his supporters' actions, resulting in the deadly attack on the Capitol. As Congress was set to finalize the election results, they detailed his efforts to retain the presidency, including ignoring court rulings not in his favor. And they played audio of Trump's call to Georgia's Secretary of State, telling him to find the votes to overturn the results in that state.
President Donald J. Trump ran out of nonviolent options to maintain power.
They also played video from Trump supporters who said they were following the president's orders, arguing the violence was foreseeable and Trump knowingly fanned the flames.
He had every reason to know that they were armed, that they were violent, and that they would actually fight. He knew who he was calling and the violence they were capable of. And he still gave that marching orders to go to the Capitol and, quote, fight like hell and stop the steal.
So yesterday, 6 Republican senators joined Democrats voting on the constitutional issue that the trial could proceed, even though Trump is no longer in office. But 17 Republicans would be needed to join Democrats in order to convict the former president.
The president's lawyers will make his case tomorrow, and we've got more to come tonight and tomorrow, and we will have continuing coverage of the second impeachment trial all evening. You can also find more on today's arguments at WGNTV.com, and you can sign up for our breaking news alerts through our free WGN News app.